Now to the conflict in the Middle East. The ceasefire between Israel and Iran is holding for now. Here's a live look from Tel Aviv, where all is quiet there. But yesterday, there were questions over whether that ceasefire would hold after President Trump accused both sides of violating it. The president says he spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and told him to stop the strikes, which the president says he did.
Yeah, it's a big step toward peace in what has been a very violent 2 weeks. 7 News has team coverage with the latest developments out of the Middle East. John Gonzalez standing by with the impacts that are being felt here at home. But let's begin with John Rogers at the Alert Desk. So, John, we're learning more about how effective or not the U.S. strikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities were.
Yeah, Adam, Adriana, good morning to you. That's the big debate this morning, just over how effective those weekend strikes were on Iran's nuclear facilities. An early U.S. intelligence assessment found that it was not obliterated, as President Trump has said. Instead, it was likely only set back months. People familiar with the assessment said Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium was not destroyed. And you may have seen images like this. This was a satellite image from the days prior to the strike. Look at this long line of trucks right here. Reportedly, experts suggest that Iran may have moved some of the uranium or buried the tunnels here with extra dirt to protect it. The White House is blasting these reports. President Trump, he did put up a message on Truth Social here calling out the fake news, he says, attempting to demean one of the most successful military strikes in history. He emphasizes that the nuclear sites are completely destroyed. We also heard from Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. She said this assessment was wrong and leaked by an anonymous low-level loser.
Our team coverage continues now with John Gonzalez live outside the Washington Hebrew congregation. John, security still tight in response to the conflict?
Yeah, that's right, Adam. Good morning. As one of the largest Reform congregations here in the area, this house of worship here in Northwest D.C. has also been part of the heightened security efforts throughout the city. Now, we can report this morning that ceasefire between Iran and Israel is holding steady for now. But of course, it is a very delicate situation following mounting global pressure and direct U.S. involvement to stop the fighting there in the Middle East. Now, hours into the truce, Iran reportedly launched rockets into Israel, killing several civilians. Israel responded with a limited strike on a radar installation near Tehran. An angered President Trump responded publicly, calling both countries reckless and telling Israel in all caps to, quote, bring your pilots home now. Now, I spoke with Joel Peters, director of Virginia Tech School of Public and International Affairs, an expert in Middle East foreign policy, global security, and conflict resolution. So I asked him if this ceasefire holds and is successful, what does it mean for President Trump's legacy?
This is a great win for him. You know, it was a risk. Some people would say it was foolhardy. Some people would say it was illegal and bypassing Congress. And some people would say this was brave and determined. But it was a gamble. This has got to be followed up with something. You know, this is an unstable situation. This is not finished.
We are continuing to monitor both the conflict in the Middle East and the security posture here at home. Coming up in the next half hour, I asked Professor Peters what the ripple effect can be here in the D.C. area. Reporting live, John Gonzalez, 7 News.